we were talking about Comic-Con
Yeah, a little bit. Not
Tokyo.
much, though.
Before this episode.
Right.
Then there the things happened in this event, and people couldn't get Johnny Depp's autograph.
Okay, so there
Yeah.
was supposed to be like an autograph signing session with Johnny Depp, right?
Yeah, and also selfie with Johnny Depp.
Okay, cool. I would like a selfie with Johnny Depp. I don't know that I'd pay for it. Depends on the price.
Yeah, the ticket is very expensive. It's about 75,000 yen.
Ooh,
No.
75,000 yen.
75,000 yen.
Okay, that's pretty steep.
Yep.
That's
And
pretty steep.
many people are trying to get this ticket. And, hundreds of people probably got this ticket.
Okay.
But Johnny Depp couldn't come to this event on time.
Oh,
I don't know why the reason, but anyway, he was late about 2 hours.
okay. That sounds like Johnny Depp.
Yeah, because he's a world famous actor, of course.
Right. So they kind of do what they want to do.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And this company organized this event. They assumed that he gets here on time, but he didn't. And things got delayed, and many people couldn't get his autograph eventually.
That's too bad
Yeah,
for them.
yeah, for them. And then people really, really mad at this event organizing company.
Is the company American or Japanese?
Probably Japanese.
Okay. So it's obviously not their fault then.
No. I don't think so. But it's people have a mixed feeling towards to Johnny Depp and this company.
Sure. Okay. That's,
Right.
yeah, it's a complicated situation. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
It's truly a bad experience to those people who got a ticket, right?
Yeah. Because I assume there's no money back.
That is also a very big issue. The organizing company try not to refund money.
Of course not. They don't want to give up all that money. But that is also what makes the situation complicated and why people felt like they got ripped off, probably.
Right.
If I paid 75,000 yen, 75,000 yen for a chance to get a signature and a selfie with someone, and then the person didn't show up, I would be very expecting my money back.
Right.
Yeah, I would
At
expect my
least.
money back. Yeah, at least. And I would expect an apology from the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, for wasting everyone's time, right?
Right.
It's not their fault. I know it's not their fault, but ultimately they are responsible.
Right. Okay, this happened a while ago, but let's jump into our today's podcast episode. Hi, everyone. I'm Tomoya.
Hi, I'm Andrea. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, welcome back to our podcast. So we got a really interesting message from a listener today, and let me read it for our listener.
Okay, so this is a message from a listener. Great.
Right, Yoshida X4E san text us. I work as a tour bus driver and meet people from everywhere.
Cool.
I've noticed that people's stubbornness depends on their country. Some are strict about time, and others are strict about food. What do you guys think?
Oh, okay. That's a really interesting topic and question. So Yoshida 4xe
X4E.
said that they've noticed people's stubbornness, and that depends on their country. But I think like stubbornness, they mean like what a person is particular about,
Right.
or what a nationality is particular about.
Yeah. You can also say what people are sensitive to.
Yeah. So I think like probably the Japanese would be korowari. Ne? What do they? Korowari ga nan desu ka?
Korowari, yeah.
Korowari is like to be particular about something. Stubbornness, like it works too, but it sounds like a really bad personality trait. And it's not always a bad thing, right?
Yeah. We individual have own stubbornness and things are particular about.
Yeah. Like I'm particular about many things for sure. Yeah.
Let's talk about stubbornness on each country's.
Okay. Yeah. Depending on each country. Yeah.
Yes. So Japan, we are very strict about time management.
Yeah, that's the stereotype anyway. It's not always true, but yeah, that is a stereotype.
Right. Like on time means 5 minutes early.
Right. I think that's taught to school children. I remember going to watch some of my son's lessons in elementary and junior high school, and that's what the teachers teach the students is you should be in your chair ready to start the next lesson 5 minutes before the bell rings.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I sometimes take express bus to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And always the conductor said, please come back by this time.
Yeah.
You know, of course, we Japanese people follow this rule.
Usually.
Usually. I never seen anyone was really, really late for this time.
Yeah, that's generally true. When I did work on some tours, we did have some Japanese people who were not early. They would come right at the time, and that's okay. They're still on time.
Right.
Right. If the bus driver says come back by 10, come back in 10 minutes exactly at 10 o'clock. There will be some people who come right at 10, and that's fine. That's okay.
Right.
Yeah, but no one was like grossly late. Yeah, who were Japanese. I have seen people come like 5 minutes, 10 minutes late back from stops. And like even here, like teaching lessons, people show up late, of course, including myself. But even Japanese people come late.
Yes.
It's not like every single person is always 5 minutes early. This is a stereotype. Yeah.
What if this were an American? Would they say, I don't care about the time. I have a right to enjoy this, shopping at...
No, I think Americans also tend to try to observe the rules. We don't, like, we might be a few minutes late, but it's not like on purpose. It's not like we're blatantly trying to break the rule. The people I see trying to blatantly break the rule would be like French people.
French.
They're like, no, I'm going to go and have a smoke and I will get back when I get back. You can wait for me. I paid for this tour. The bus better not leave. I'm taking a coffee break right now.
Yeah.
They're very much like that,
Oh.
And again, not everyone, but a lot of people are.
Wow.
Americans, like, we try to follow the rules in general. Like, no one is trying to break the rules on purpose.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's a very like controversial way to be, I think. If you're coming to visit someone else's country.
Right.
And you insist on, being 10 minutes late. Not I happen to be 2 or 3 minutes late. No, you insist on being. You must be 10 minutes late. Americans they're not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think in general, like going back to Japanese people do try to really observe the rules, and they are like very strict and very particular about like maintaining the social order. Like, people don't try to make people upset, right? You try to maintain within the group.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess Yoshida-san might have seen something more crazier.
Probably, yeah, probably. Because if you do that kind of job, you see some very extreme examples, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He or she probably has some very interesting stories.
I guess.
Yeah.
And next up is about food.
Okay.
So he also mentioned about food.
Okay.
Some people probably insisted on something very particular,
Okay.
like niche customization for food.
That would be Americans. That's one thing Americans are very bad about. Yeah.
Especially like vegan food.
Yeah, well, vegan. Lots of people have food allergies and like gluten allergies. So that's can't be helped, right? That's a medical problem. But like, yeah, veganism, or they just are picky eaters. They don't eat certain things. That's just really, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really irritating to deal with for
Right.
some people.
Right, I guess. I totally understand because when I worked in the kitchen,
Oh man.
I just guess in Japanese kitchen, usually you get a regular food menu items
Right.
and then make it as it.
Yeah, yeah.
But in a kitchen in the Western world,
Yeah.
it's kind of a different because there's always this customer
Yeah.
doesn't need, for example, like spinach or
Right, right. Actually, I didn't work in the kitchen, but I worked as a waitress in America in a couple of places. And yeah, having to take someone's order is really complicated. So I worked in a hamburger, like a family restaurant that served hamburgers. So for example, we have to ask, okay, you want a hamburger. How do you want it cooked? Do you want it rare, medium rare, well done? So they get a choice.
Right.
And then, okay, you get a potato. Do you want a baked potato, a mashed potato, a fried potato? Okay, you want a baked potato. Do you want butter or sour cream? Oh, you want a salad. You get a choice of side dishes. Do you want a salad or a cooked vegetable?
Yeah.
Oh, you want a salad. Okay. Well, what kind of dressing do you want? We have blue cheese, Italian, da 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 da. And it just goes on and on and on forever. So by the time you write their order down, it's like 20 minutes later.
Right.
It's so complicated.
I can imagine that.
Too many choices.
Yes. Too many options.
Too many options, too many choices. But that's what I like about Japan. Like when you go to a restaurant, like a little cafe, you know, that's not a chain store. Some of the nice cafes, they have like 2 menu choices. You get choice A or choice B. That's it. No customization. It's either A or B. Take it like that. Take it as it is.
Easy.
Right? Very easy, yeah. Maybe you get a C. You might get A, B, or C. You don't get like endless choices.
Yeah. So in a way, this customization sounds really nice. But for people who cook this food, it's troublesome.
It's very troublesome. And if you mess it up, if you get one thing wrong, they send the whole thing back and they complain. Like, oh, you have to make the whole thing over because you missed this one little thing.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful when you take their order. And also the chef has to be very careful when they cook.
Yep.
But things like, you know, when you cook a steak or hamburger, like medium rare, I mean, it's subjective, right? Who decides how medium it is, right? It's very hard to hit right.
There's a way to find how well you cook this steak.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is the chefs have rules. Okay, to cook a steak medium rare, you have to cook it for, 6 minutes or whatever, and you flip it once, whatever. But then when that goes to the customer, their idea of medium rare is different often. And they'll say, this isn't medium rare. This is still rare. Cook it some more.
Maybe.
They have a different concept.
Okay, yes.
So, yeah, like this particularity, the stubbornness about customization is quintessentially like a Western thing. It's very American. I'm surprised they do it in Australia too, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. And then Japanese people are not so particular about the how well these steak cooked.
Right.
But especially noodle lovers, ramen lovers are very particular about how well this noodle cooked.
Right. Okay. That's true. But the shops generally do a standard kind of hard noodle.
Yes.
Right. And then if you don't like it hard, you just let it sit for a few minutes and let it get soft in your bowl, right?
There's too many options for noodle hardness.
Okay.
Like softer, soft.
When you order, like when you go to a regular ramen shop, do they ask you?
Depends on ramen restaurant.
Okay.
The place I go, usually they don't ask.
Okay, they have their way to do it.
Yes. So I just order regular ramen. But some people I hear they order katamen.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the customization, maybe some people need it.
I mean, if you have food allergies, I understand. But if you're not dealing with food allergies, in your own country, fine, do what you like. But when you come overseas, just eat the thing as it is served, unless you can't, right? I don't know. I'm not a picky person though. Like I like everything, so it's very easy for me to say that. A lot of people have things they don't like, and they just don't eat that thing, right? For example, I have a friend who doesn't like vinegar, and so he just avoids anything with vinegar or mayonnaise because he knows he won't like it. But he doesn't ask the staff like don't put mayonnaise on this. He'll get something that doesn't have mayonnaise. I think that's okay. Yeah. To customize it yourself, but don't expect other people to do it,
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay. And extremely stubbornness can actually have a name.
Okay.
For example, OCD.
Okay, I have heard this before. OCD.
Obsessive-Compulsive Disorder.
Yes. So we just say OCD in English. OCD, obsessive-compulsive disorder. So you're obsessive about things being a certain way.
Yeah. Keppekisho in Japanese.
Oh, okay. So keppeki is like perfectionist.
Perfectly clean.
Okay.
Yes. I don't have that, but
No, I don't either. You certainly do not have OCD. You certainly do not, mister.
sorry, but yeah,
I'm joking because usually Tomoya's desk is a little bit messy.
not a little bit. It's extremely.
Well, I'm trying to be nice. Yeah, it's very messy.
Yeah.
My workspace is neat, but like my storage area is also very messy. So I'm also not OCD. So nothing on you. I'm also messy too.
And there's one more thing. It's OCPD.
OCPD. Okay, I don't know this one.
I didn't know this one, and I still don't know what this meaning is. So, obsessive-compulsive personality disorder.
Oh. Okay, so this is not like a real disorder. This is someone who just has a very strong personality trait about things being a certain way, is what I understand.
Exactly.
Just someone being very stubborn.
Right. So, for example, this must be done exactly by manual.
Oh, well, then that's all of Japan.
Right.
No, I'm kind of joking because like, if you get on some online social media platforms, they will complain about how Japanese people, like for example, if you go to the bank and you need something done, or you go to the city hall and you need something done, if it's not in the manual, they can't do it.
Right.
It has to be like in the manual and they have to follow things exactly. So I'm kind of joking, but it's kind of true.
Right.
I think like not only by the manual, but just like people have a certain way to do things and they insist on having them done that way.
Yeah, for example,
When I hang laundry.
What do you mean?
I'm this way. Like I have a certain way I hang laundry to dry it. And if it's not that way, it irritates me and I have to redo it. So, for example, like my son does no housework, but my husband will try to help. And he'll, for example, when he hangs laundry, I'll be like, okay, thank you. That helps me. But then I go and I see how he did the laundry and I'm like, no, that's all wrong. And I redo what he did. So that is, I think, OCPD.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's not good.
Okay.
That's not good.
I'm pretty sure this is not OCPD, but you think this is OCPD. Every time we finish this recording for a podcast episode, I mostly clean up everything, like, this for this equipment.
Yeah, because you have a certain way that you like to have it done.
Oops. Yeah.
And you're like, if I try to help, you're like, no, that's not the way to wind the cord. It goes the other way.
Right.
Don't fold the thing this way. It goes the other way.
Yeah, there's a certain technique for winding cable, especially. And I learned from this audio specialist.
Okay.
And then, there's this thing called hachinoji-maki.
Okay.
Wind your microphone cable like infinity shape.
Okay.
Your cable wouldn't tangle up next time when you use.
Okay.
And
so there's reasons why then. It's not just random. There's reasons why. Okay, that makes sense.
But Andrea-san does just guru maki.
Because I'm not a professional. I'm just me.
So I'm sorry, this is like my OCPD
point. Yeah,
point.
this is your OCPD HD point, yeah.
That makes me kind of
Irritated, yeah. And you have to redo it. When you see me doing the chord, you're like, okay, I'm going to go redo that when she's not looking.
Right.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Do you have something else you can think of?
When I was younger and I was responsible like for all of the childcare and all of the housework and all of the cooking in my family, I am very particular about everything, actually. Like I'm very particular about the way cooking is done. And I'm very particular at the way when I wash the dishes, how the dishes are stacked. But like I kind of have to like not look when other people try to help, because otherwise I need to do everything and I don't want to do everything by myself. So I just kind of, okay, do it your way. It's wrong, but do it your way.
I guess, yeah, we have many OCPD on many things.
Yeah, like hanging laundry, like mostly like little things like hanging laundry, or like the way after you fold towels, like the way towels are stacked in the cabinet, things like that. I mean, things that are very unimportant,
Right. Yes.
But to be honest, I know they're unimportant.
Yeah.
So I do let people do it their way. Okay, so in this episode, we talked about people's particularities or their stubbornness regarding certain things, and sometimes how that does kind of move among certain nationalities, right? Like Japanese people have a stereotype of always being on time, or Americans have the stereotype of being, very picky about their food. But like that is kind of true, right?
Right.
Okay, and this idea again was a great idea from a listener named Yoshida. What is it? 4XP? Yoshida X4E. Sorry. Okay, so we hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
And we love to hear your thoughts on this topic. What is your weird obsession or non-negotiable point? Is it about how to hang the laundry, the volume on the TV, or maybe the order of apps on your smartphone?
Now, those are some good ones, too.
Yeah, I was really particular about how these apps are in line, ordered.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was even trying to coordinate with colors on each app.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm not that particular at all, but like the way my apps are now is very irritating. So I do need to reorganize my apps, actually.
Mine too.
I can't find anything on mine.
Actually, mine too.
Because I've transferred data a few times and it just got mixed up. So, yeah, like I'm not OCD about it, but yeah, some people might be.
Yeah, all right. And of course, we are always looking for new episode ideas. What would you like us to talk about next?
Okay, and just a reminder, we are live streaming every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Japan Standard Time. Please join us on YouTube if you'd like to chat with us in real time.
Okay, that's all for this episode. But don't forget to catch our next one.
All right, this is CrossTalk signing off, bringing you English your way every week.
Keep listening and keep shining. Bye.
Bye.